LV here with a 22 card, mostly vintage SGC grading order reveal for you. I paid around $15 per card to grade, and the turnaround time was exceptional as always, like 4 to 5 business days. You guys know PSA is my preferred grading company, but I think with mid-grade vintage, I feel like SGC is the way to go. This is because there's less of a resale value gap between the cards graded in the 5 to 8 range. And PSA naturally takes longer to grade vintage because they don't have enough experienced graders that can grade vintage compared to what they have for modern and ultra modern. So that incredible SGC turnaround time makes sending vintage to them more enticing. Plus, SGC is consistent and accurate grading vintage. All right, so with all that said, if you guys don't submit a ton of vintage regularly, at first when the grades pop, a lot of times you will feel shocked and upset. This is just because our brains are wired with modern and ultra modern grade thoughts. Trust me, after you get the vintage cards back and inspect them closely, you will agree with the grades most of the time. Also, in this order, there are 3 modern basketball cards that I submitted as kind of test cards. So stay around for those grades. It should be interesting. We can learn together and I can give you my thoughts. All right, here we go. I'm going to film this overhead style so you can really see what kind of vintage flaws give you certain grades. And beside the cards, I have a pre-sub list of what I predicted each grade would be for each card. We will see whether I hit the mark or not. All right, let's get started. All right, first up is this 1959 Topps Pittsburgh Pirates team card. You got Roberto Clemente on there. I said it would get a 6, and it got a SGC 5. So a little bit lower than I thought. You got a little fisheye right there. Corner's a little soft, but not too bad, and it's fairly centered. And it's nice to see this card unchecked because it is kind of a checklist card. So there's the back. I don't know, I was pretty confident that this card would get a 6. But that is okay. We'll put it on the under what I expected pile. All right. Next up, we have a 1959 Topps National League Hitting Kings. You got Willie Mays in there. Ashburn, I said it would get a 5, and it got a 6. So I think an overgrade there. I'm excited about that, or at least over what I thought it'd be. A little more rounded corners, soft corners compared to that Pirates card. It's really nicely centered though. Nice eye appeal, nice color. So maybe that's kind of where they bumped it up a little bit. And the back looks pretty good. Nothing major. So there you go on that one. Got the 6. We'll put that in the grade above pile right there. All right, next up we got a Duke Snider. This is the Baseball Thrills out of 59 Topps. I said it would get a 6, and it got a 6. So accurate grade there. Centering isn't great. Look how thin it is in that right there compared to this. And the corners are a little bit soft. Nice color. And you also have a little kind of vintage mark right there. See that? To the cardstock. So there you go. Got a 6. So accurate. What I thought it would be pile. Next up. 1960 Topps early win. Man, this card was really sharp, just off-centered. I said it would get a 5 just because of the centering, and it got a 5. So, yeah, look at that. Look how clean that card is, though. Look how sharp, I mean, the corners. But look at that centering. It's pretty crazy. Still a nice card. There you go. Number 1 in the set, too. Got a 5. What did I say? Would get a 5, so accurate grade right there. And now we got, this is an interesting card. I went antiquing with my mom. Sometimes we do that just to spend some time together. And I always look for sports cards. One day I would love to do, maybe every couple months, I would travel around into some antique stores and just do an antique store sports card pickup video. It'd be fun to do because you actually could find some cool stuff. And I found this card, the Yogi Berra 1960 Topps. The price tag was $50. The only bad thing about antique stores is you can't really negotiate, can't haggle, because there's no dealer for that specific table. Anyway, I just paid full sticker. It was $50, and I inspected it. It looked like a 5 to me. And let's just see what it got. And it got a 5. I think these sell for around 100. So made a little bit of profit there off of an antique store card. Very happy with that. It's just off-centered, rounded corners. Surface wasn't great. A little bit of snowing. Back was okay. I saw a little bit of edge wear right over here. But, you know, not altered. No marks on the back or anything. So I'm happy with this. Got a 5, and that's what we said it would be. Christy Mathewson. This is a really nice looking card. It's 61 Fleer. In terms of condition, I thought it was very clean. I thought it would get a 7, and it got a 6. Unfortunately, off center left to right, that's pretty common. Corners were pretty clean and crisp, and the color's there. Yeah, I was pretty confident this would be a 7. I might have to look at the back centering on this card graded 8s or better. So I want to see if that's normal, that gap right here. Let me know if you guys know. Other than that, yeah, I just thought it'd be a 7. So a little undergrade pile there. All right, next up, we got a Brooks Robinson. This is 68 All-Star Sporting News. I thought it would get a 7, it looks like, and it got a 6.5, so pretty close. Centering was there, just a little bit rounded corners right there. You can see a little bit of wear. But really not a bad card. And there's the back right there. Okay, I'll go under pile, but pretty close. Now we got a 1970 Tom Seaver. This 1970 set isn't as condition sensitive as other vintage baseball sets. So you kind of need a little bit of higher grade to make a little money. But kind of showing the grade there. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Tom Seaver, I said it would get a 6, and it got a 6. So accurate grade, off center, left to right, thinner on the right than the left, and a little bit of wear. A little more than you want on this set. And looks like a little bit discoloration fading on the back. So there you go. Accurate grade, 6. Said it would get a 6. Next up, we got a Carl Yaz 72. I love this 72 set. It's just the iconic design throwback look. It's amazing. 70s look. Anyway, I said this one would get a 7. Off-center a little bit, and it got a 7. I'm happy with that. Cool looking card. Yeah, just a little bit off-centered. Look at on the back. A little bit of soft corners. Anyway, accurate there. All right, now same set, 72 tops, Willie Stargell, the Pirates. I said this one would get a 7, and it got a 6. A little bit unfortunate there. The cut is a little bit rough. On sets that mostly all the time it has that rough cut, they won't ding you too much. But this 72 set, you don't see it a ton. So you see the rough cut there, and a little bit of a rough cut there, but really sharp. And it also has what I call factory grease stains. I know they're not from actual kind of grease, but you see it right there. So I'm assuming that's where it brought me down to the 6. Clean card other than that. So a little bit of what I thought would be under. Now we got a Steve Garvey. 76 tops. Nicely centered. I said it would get an 8. That's why I graded the Steve Garvey. But it got a 7.5, so pretty close. I think what got me, the corners are sharp and the centering's there, is a little bit of a print defect. You see a little bit of ink spotting right here, and actually a little bit of factory grease spot, like I was talking about, like the Stargell. So I think that's the reason. So a little bit under there. All right, now we got a O.J. Simpson and Jim Otis, 1976 tops rushing leaders. I just loved how sharp it was. Off-centered, yes, but just looks back fresh. You got one soft corner, but look at that, how clean it is. There you go on that one. So what I thought. And now we get into some basketball. We got to 1978 Kareem Abdul-Jabbar tops. I bought a collection a long time ago, and it had 1977 to 1980 tops sets, a whole bunch of them clean. They look packed fresh. They were just stored in boxes, and these are just some of them. But unfortunately, very condition-sensitive sets those years. He had a ton of print defects and off-centered all the time. So anyway, this 78 Kareem looked pretty good. Off-centered left to right, but not too much snowing or print defects at all. It looked pretty good. So I thought it would get an 8, and it got a 7, unfortunately. This is a card I actually had pegged to send to PSA because I felt like it could be an 8. So I might correct it out down the road. I just didn't want to wait the PSA turnaround times. Really clean card. You could tell it's almost just packed fresh. So 7 on the Kareem. A little bit under there. Next up, we got the Maravich, same set, 78. I said the Maravich would get a 7. The centering is just off left or top to bottom. It got a 6, so unfortunate there. Really clean. It's fresh. Look at the corners, everything. And usually this Maravich card has a ton of snowing. But no. Yeah, I was confident we'd get a 7. The back looks pretty good. Anyway, got a 6, so under there. And then the 78 Julius Erving, I said would get a 7, and it got a 6.5. So they were really tough on the 78 tops basketballs with me. It does have some snowing right there, a little bit of print loss right there. But other than that, card was pretty sharp, top to bottom, a little off. These are clean. These are really clean cards. I feel like this would be a PSA 7 or more. That might have been where they knocked us right there. A little bit of a, kind of like a grease stain on the back cardstock. Factory. Anyway, a little bit under on that one. So the under pile's kind of increasing a little bit. Now we're getting into 79. This is the Kareem of 79. I said we'd get an 8. Really clean, sharp card. Always fisheyes and print defects, and this one looked pretty good. And it ended up getting a 7. So they're tough on basketball, this grader. Look how clean it is. SGC is naturally a little tougher on centering. It's top to bottom, thick on the top, and the bottom you can see right there. But really sharp. I thought it was within 8 range. All right, under there. We have one more. This one looked almost just as good. I thought it would get an 8, and it got a 7 again. So, I don't know. A little bit undergrades on this basketball. I thought baseball, they were pretty accurate. But off left to right, not too much. Pretty sharp, clean card. Few light print defects. Yeah, a little bit under there. Now we got the Julius Erving from that set, and I said it would get a 7, and it got a 6.5. Again, they were heavy. This year of 79 Topps basketball, they're heavy on the ink, and especially the backgrounds, and so you get a lot of snowing and white showing. But these cards look pretty good. So, I don't know. A little bit undergraded on the basketball. Off top to bottom, a little bit on the back, but clean card, at least a 7 in my opinion. Should have been. So under. All right, next up, we got a 72 Havlicek. John Havlicek, 72. I said it would get a 7, and we actually got a little overgrade here. You have a little more snowing on this one. You see it right here, and it's off top to bottom. So I don't know why they were kind of extra generous on the Havlicek, but they were. I'll take it. 7.5 is a nice grade for that card. A little bit over there. All right, so that was it for the vintage. Now we're going to get into the 3 cards I talked about, kind of modern basketball. And these are important test cards. So this Pippen, oh, it's just a beautiful card. It had 0 surface scratches, and the centering is there. Maybe a little bit, maybe 55-45 top to bottom, but it's there. This card's a gem mint card on the front. Anyway, the back has, this is why I didn't grade it with PSA. The back has a very faint kind of fingernail indent. And you know I hate those so much. There it is. Right through here. See that? Right through there? That's the little fingernail indent I'm talking about. It's very faint. So I wanted to test how SGC has been grading those. And they, so I thought traditionally they would give it a 9.5, and they gave it an 8.5. So, it kind of proves my little experiment that they do grade those tougher now. They don't let it slide, and I'm going to show a little proof, proof right now. Okay, so I probably graded these cards, I don't know, 6 months ago. And I wanna prove to you that they do grade those tougher nowadays. Here's a Fletcher Cox. They give it a 9.5. Now check out the same, if not worse, flaw on this. All right, see it right through here. Even deeper fingernail indent. Boom, just like that. So, yeah, they give it a 9.5. I know it's a small sample size, but let's keep showing you these cards. They give this Kurt Warner a 10. Do you want to see this flaw on the back? It was deep. There it is. Okay, look at that. It's like a check mark indent fingernail. Wow, that's even deeper than the Fletcher Cox or the Scottie Pippen. And they gave that one a 10. So this is when they were grading a little easier, in my opinion. And I'm not saying they're getting wrong now. I think that Pippen is an 8.5. I'm just saying be aware. Definitely be aware. And this Tom Brady, they give it a 9.5. And this one has a different kind of flaw, but it's crazy. This one I think would have graded a PSA 6. It's almost like a dimple indent right through here. Just a little collar. See that? Anyway, that got a 9.5. So just showing you guys. They're getting a little tighter, or a little on par with PSA nowadays, for sure. Next up, we got a LeBron 2003 Topps Collection rookie. I bought this at a card show, and I always felt like this one should have been graded at least an 8 or higher. It was pretty clean, centered. Anyway, PSA gave it a 7 when I graded it with them, and I disagreed. I thought it's at least an 8. And it got a 7, SGC 7. I'm honestly shocked. I put down 8.5. So it just kind of proves my point that SGC is very on par with PSA. And again, I'm looking at this card very closely. Nothing too wrong with the front surface, and the centering's there. A little bit weak corner right there, but I'm going to show you the corner where they're getting me. It's not even a crease. It's right here. It's almost like a bend, a slight bend down. That's where they're getting me. You can kind of compare. No bend down there, and a little bit right here. So that is where they're getting me, and maybe they are accurate. So yeah, 7 there. I don't like it in that 7 holder. All right, the final card is a really interesting one. Really cool card from the surface. Anyway, 2003, I'm building this gold refractor set. Topps Chrome. It's a Hall of Fame gold refractor rookie, numbered out of 50. They're only numbered out of 50. The vets are numbered out of 99, so it makes it even more rare. This card's been floating around for sale on eBay for a long time now. No one wants it. It's almost like that old maid card, but I see the long-term potential in this card, and I don't think condition matters as much. Let's just go ahead and reveal. I said it would get a 5, and it got a 4. So I was very intrigued to see what they would grade this, and there is a reason for this 4. So it is accurate. The front looks great, just off center, left to right, but like a normal 8 it would be, right? But then you flip it over, and you'll see why no one wants this card except me. I love this card still. Anyway, it looks like maybe someone opened it and had coffee and spilled coffee on the table. There's the stain. It's just the liquid stain, brown liquid stain all through here. See it right there. And then there's a few marks. You can see the wet ripple marks right here and a little bit right here. I don't know what someone was trying to do there, maybe. Anyway, that's the problem. So it's accurate, but no one wanted it. I think this should be a $1,000 card, really. And I got it because of the condition. I got it for $200. And I'm happy with that. I know these gold refractors aren't like PMGs, but my thinking is in the long term, they're so rare. And if this set becomes very desirable, I don't think condition is going to matter as much on the Hall of Fame rookie cards, numbered out of 50. So that's kind of where my investment mind is going. Plus, I love the set. So I'm happy with this purchase. I just want to get it slabbed up and learn what they would grade this card. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this reveal. Let's look at the stacks now. This is let's compare the stacks, right, of what I thought. That is the stack I thought they graded kind of under what I thought it would be. Here's the stack where they grade right what I thought it would be. And then here's the stack they graded over what I thought it would be. So yeah, not great, but also I feel like the grader wasn't inaccurate. They're pretty accurate, just tight. I just felt like it was a tight grader. So that's kind of my thoughts on this order. I hope you enjoyed this SGC reveal. I'll be back. My PSA orders are finally moving, so I'll have some PSA reveals for you soon. And this might be a double video week because I haven't done a DC Sports video for you guys in a long time. And I finally got one, so I'll release that probably on Thursday or Friday. All right, hope everyone has a great day.